Well, everyone, it's not been long since that dramatic finale at Monza where Victor Martins was crowned the fourth champion of the FIA Formula 3 Championship. And what a season it was. The fifth season next year has got a lot to live up to, and we get a little taste of what we could potentially expect. We've got post-season testing, which kicked off today at the Jerez circuit in Spain. 3 days coming up. It started today. Interesting entry list and an interesting first day as well. Thank you for joining me on my channel. I'm going to be bringing you reviews each day. Now, one thing post-season testing always gives us is a few things. It tells us who could be returning to the championship, who could be changing teams, who could be joining the championship as well. Now, it never is complete certainty that the drivers who enter this post-season test are going to race with those teams, but it gives us a very good idea as to who could go where. So very, very exciting. Couple of stats for you before I go through the top 10. Franco Colapinto is the only driver who finished in the top 10 from this season to come back into testing. He finished 9th this season, so he's the top seed, given Victor Martins was 5th and came back last year. That's a little bit of a surprise. Only 4 of the top 15 have returned, showing just how many new faces we could have on the grid next year. 10 drivers returned who did a full season this year to testing today. Of those, only 3 drivers remain with the same team: Pepe, Marti, Rafael Villagomez, Gregoire Saucy. 8 drivers have entered the test from this year from the FIA Championship as well, which was great to see. The other 12 coming from Euro Formula Open, F4 and other international championships, and 13 different nationalities represented. Right, let's go through the top 10, talk a little bit about each of those drivers. So, quickest overall was Gabriele Mini for Hitech. Now, Hitech had a fantastic season this year. Zak O'Sullivan, of course, was in that title fight all the way to the end. Didn't quite work out for him at Monza. However, he proved that Hitech can go and fight for titles. Gabriele Mini, second in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine this year, is someone who can win titles. Won the Italian F4 title, so no surprise to see him at the front. I've got to know him over the last couple of seasons. And it was really no surprise to me to see Gabriele Mini go fastest. This is overall. This is putting the morning and the afternoon sessions together. He was over 2/10 quicker than Kaylen Frederick. Kaylen, of course, returning to the championship. It seems now, not in the Hitech car that we were used to seeing him in this year. He was in the ART car, which would be a very exciting move for him if that were to come off. ART, very, very competitive team. They always have been. They've just taken Victor Martins to the title. So Kaylen Frederick would be looking to go and echo that and use the experience that we saw Roman Stanek use. It would be his 3rd season, but 2nd full season. Now, Pepe Marti was one of the standouts for me. 3rd place. I mean, he did race. He's one of the few drivers who has raced at this circuit. He raced there last year in Spanish F4, took 2 podiums, but still 3rd place for him. He took his first points of the season at Monza, clearly flying with confidence with Campos, knows the team well, and got off to a solid start with 3rd. Zak O'Sullivan was P4. Now, many questioned, where is Andrea Kimi Antonelli when they saw the Prema lineup come up? Dino, Beganovic, Paul Aron, Zak O'Sullivan. People forget Zak O'Sullivan is a championship winner. He won the GB3 title, went on to be commended as the Motorsport BRDC Young Driver of the Year. So Zak O'Sullivan, hugely talented driver, and what a performance he put in at Hungary, coming from outside the top 20 to P4, and showed his worth today. Quickest of the Prema drivers, used his experience there to go and be the quickest of the Prema drivers. So a great start for him, settling into the team nicely. Likewise, Reece Ushijima, P5 for him. a driver who got on the podium last year at Silverstone. Likewise did Zak as well. They both shared the podium there. And Reece Ushijima, again, someone who could be one to watch next year if he's to jump into that Hitech car full time. It's a very quick team. And that looks like that could be a really good fit after what we've seen on day one. Gregoire Saucy has remained with ART for testing and finished in P6. I think he would have liked to have been slightly higher. However, he was literally only a tenth and a bit away from finishing in third place. It was incredibly close. So Gregoire Saucy, P6, solid start. Let's see what he can do going over the next couple of days. Christian Mansell, 7th place. We saw him in a couple of rounds this season. He was with the Jerez Racing System team. We didn't see him finish inside the top 20, but he's jumped across to Campos Racing. Bang, P7 straight away. He's racing in Euro Formula Open this year. Has been incredibly impressive in that. Christian Mansell was the quickest of the Jerez drivers when he went and qualified at Hungary on his debut. And great to see him getting off to a solid start there. Not far away from his teammate Pepe Marti. Sebastian Montoya, just like he was at Zandvoort, P8 in both those races. P8 today with Hitech though as well. We saw him race with Campos. He put all 3 Hitech cars in the top 10. How about that? Hitech, the only team to have all 3 cars inside the top 10. So an incredibly impressive start to the test for them. Jonny Edgar has moved across from Trident to MP Motorsport for this test. Now when he came back, of course, from suffering from, we saw him having to leave the championship when he was diagnosed with Crohn's disease and fighting back. It was really great to see him go and get some of his best results of the seasons when he actually returned to the championship, particularly at Spa. He went and got a run of top 5 finishes. And Jonny Edgar with MP Motorsport was the top MP Motorsport driver. So if that is to go on, that could be an incredibly interesting partnership. And then Dino Beganovic, leader of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, was in 10th place, the quickest of the drivers in the afternoon session, the only one to get in the top 10 with an afternoon session time. So that just about wraps up the top 10. I'll go through the rest of the field. Oliver Goethe, we'll go through. I've got them written down by team. Oliver Goethe was just outside it in P11. So I'll go through by team. So Fornaroli, Bortoleto and Goethe are in for Trident. Incredibly exciting lineup. Would be 3 rookies overall, but we've got a lead rookie there, a man 6th in Frecker, and Ollie Goethe, who finished 4th at Spa. Paul Aron is the other driver with Prema. He was 13th and 8th across both sessions. Then we had Nicolas Solov with ART. MP Motorsport had Franco Colapinto and Mari Boya out there as well. Great to see Mari Boya out there on home soil. Of course, 8th in Frecker at the moment. Jerez Racing System had Emerson Fittipaldi Jr., Alessandro Famulero and Nicola Marin Angeli. Francesco Pizzi was the other driver for Campos. So we've seen some movement there. He was racing with Jerez. Seems he's moved across now to Campos. Genza Motorsport, another team to welcome all new drivers, similar to Trident, similar to Jerez. They've welcomed in Alejandro Garcia, Taylor Barnard and Nikita Bedrin, some exciting F4 drivers in there. Carlin have welcomed Hunter Uni, who was at Campos, Joel Granforce from GB3, and Arias Duke-Majan, who did some Italian F4 racing this year, did a round of Frecker last year at Mugello. Van Amersfoort have got Noel Leon, the Red Bull Junior. He was 27th and 19th in his sessions. Rafael Villa-Gomez was 4th in the afternoon session, which I thought was quite an impressive end. And Roberto Faria was the other Van Amersfoort driver. 4th in GB3 he is so far this season. So quite an exciting lineup for them. So I know this is quite a long video, but some exciting ones just outside the top 10. Goethe, Yini, very exciting start for him. Villa Gomez, Pizzi doing very well, 14th. Aron, Colapinto, Bortoleto, Barnard, Boya, Fornaroli, Bedrin, Solov, Famulero, Dukmajian, Grand Force, Leon, Fittipaldi, Faria, Marinangeli and Garcia. That just concludes it. I'll try and keep this to 10 minutes, so let's conclude it there. I will come back tomorrow with a day 2 review and a day 3 review, and then we'll do a complete summary after all 3 days as well. But thank you very much for watching. Do hit the like and subscribe, and do keep an eye on my socials. I'll be posting throughout the day with some updates on how testing is going.